Welcome to Scofield Farm. I am Carice, and we are located in Northern California in Zone 9. And I am going to plant some more potatoes today. I am doing a succession sowing. I'll show you how my potatoes are right now, and I'm going to take out some blooming mustard that has gone to seed, and I have plenty of mustard seeds, so I'm not going to save them. I'm going to give them to the chickens, but I'm going to use that spot to plant more potatoes. What is the beer for, you might say? The beer is to kill the slugs and the roly-polies that are devouring some of my plants. Like seriously, I last year lost so many cucumbers, and this year they're doing it again, so we are hitting it hard. All right, kind of gross, but this is one of the beer traps with dead slugs in there and roly-polies. And if you look at the bottom of this loofah, let me see if I can get this to focus. You can see there has been chewing on it. So this one is not dead. Here, let's get my hand over here. That one is not dead, but that is part of why we put the beer trap, so hopefully it wouldn't chew them all the way through. See the centipede? So much life in the garden when you don't use spray. Okay, so this is where I have my mustards that went to bolt, and I'm gonna cut them out. You can see these are the seed pods. Here are the flowers, and here are the seed pods. And if you let these dry out all the way, you can harvest them for seed. I have a lot of mustard seed, so I'm not going to do this right now. However, I do have lots of ladybugs that have been on here, which is why I've waited. But I'm going to cut this out because this is where I'm going to put more potatoes, because this is what I've designated as my potato bed. Okay. So I'm going to cut these at the base. I'm going to leave this little cilantro here, because I love flowering cilantro, but this is kind of a mess. Okay, let me see. Here's the base of one. I'm gonna go in there and just cut it out to make room. All right, here we go. This is gonna be food for the chickens. I believe that there are aphids on some of these, which I'm not too worried about. If aphids are not overpopulated, they do bring the ladybugs. It's when they're overpopulated that they get to be more of a stress and worry, but they're pretty natural to have in a garden that has no spray. So I can get this one out. I think this one is barely holding on. Yeah. There we go. There's really not that many in here. It just looks like a lot because they got so big. A little bit of root back there. Oh, one more. I'm actually going to take the chard out too. I thought this would be a good idea, but they have flowered too early and I didn't keep on top of them. The chickens will like these. These are the chickens' favorite treat. A couple more to go. Oh, there's a little volunteer potato from something I must have missed last year. I grew potatoes here last summer, and then I rotated the bed. I did brassicas, and then I'm doing potatoes again. This little part out. It's not doing great. And then that's a little sunflower. Then we can plant this little area. It's really small, but I have some seeds. Well, not actually seed potato. I just have potatoes we forgot about in the cupboard. These are just yellow potatoes, so they look ready to me. I'm just going to plant these out. Okay, so here is my cutout chard and mustard. And here is the area of my potato bed that I'm going to try to do. And here are my potatoes. These are not seed potatoes, they're grocery store potatoes, but they work just fine when they are that rooty. There you go. Want it? Got another load. That is there's food call. All right, I'm gonna put one over here. Pecking order. There you go. There you go. Yes, Sam. What you doing? Making little kind of rows to extend my potatoes. These are the ones that I planted before with my kids. We have a video on that. I'm going to add, so as these are ready, we'll have something else growing, and that way these aren't wasted. So I'm not even cutting the potatoes, they're already small. I'm just gonna do each one spaced out, oh, I don't know, about 8 inches or so is what I'm thinking. And that might not be ideal, but I have a lot of them. So even if I get less potatoes, I'm still not wasting these potatoes. Nestle them in. And I'll cover them once I get them all kind of set up. It is hot. I don't even know if it is a hot, but I feel hot. How are you doing? Oh, there is a potato there. I have a potato right here that is trying to come up. That must have been from before, so I'll just cover that, suck it back up. All right, who knew? That's fun. Okay, here. I think I could have put some in here too, actually. Oh well. I'm thinking I can only get one bag planted because this isn't that much room. Especially since there were a couple in here. That's so surprising and fun. Okay. Oh, here's one that was underground I didn't know about too. I dug that one up accidentally. Okay, we're gonna put this back in. Crazy. Okay. I'm already so sweaty. And it's not even really that hot. We have our heat cut out for us. I'm trying to enjoy the days in the 90s, and it's probably about 80 degrees out here right now because it's morning, because it will be 115 before you know it. And what is that? For us, July is usually like 20 something days straight of triple digits, and triple digits are usually more like 108 to 113. So I'm trying to just not complain about my sweatiness right now and enjoy it, knowing it's going to be a much hotter very soon. And I do see different life in here. Not a lot of pillbugs, but I do see centipedes that hopefully don't sting me. Ouch. They're not harmful, but they are just a part of the circle of life and the ecosystem. They do break things down. Oh, there's a piece of glass. That's lovely. Okay, let's move that. Oh, there are pillbugs. I found some. My other garden is full of pillbugs on my garden beds. But if you don't spray, you are going to have bugs. You just want it to be in the right balance and not like infested. I don't think infested is a word. Okay. Did you get all the beer traps done?
Yep.
Okay. I think you can take back in that other bag. I'm not sure what to do with it. Maybe I can give it to my sister as a science experiment because we are not going to have room.
For what?
I'm just going to get one bag planted. There's not room for 2 bags. Hey, can you try that? So I got the potatoes in. I want to show you, and yeah, the garden is changing so much. I wish I could just give you a tour, but I need more time. I need to be able to focus on it. And there's a lot going on with my grandma in the hospital. I mentioned in an earlier video that she had brain surgery from a fall, and I'm trying to be there with her. We've got graduations this weekend and soccer. So hopefully after this weekend, I can do a proper May garden tour. But let me show you how the potato bed is looking and where I put them. All right, so here I did just a couple on the end. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. We had at the end here some collards. So I've already harvested those, so I'm adding a couple of potatoes right there. Then we have the whole garden of potatoes. And they're doing pretty good. Some of them are even starting to blossom. Let me see if I can show you this right here. I'm learning to zoom with my new camera. So a few of them are blossoming, not a whole lot. And we have, let me see, oh my. Okay. There we go. All right, we have over here, and I have this area that I just planted. I have not covered the potatoes up yet. I will cover them up probably as soon as I turn the camera off. But you can see there are, it's basically a bag, and I think that the bag when I bought it was a 3-pound bag of yellow potatoes. Are they gold potatoes like Kennet Gold or Yukon? I don't know. I guess we will find out because the bag just said organic yellow potatoes. So we will find out. I'm guessing they're determinate, but I will try to hill them up a little bit just in case they're indeterminate. So the difference between determinate and indeterminate potatoes is kind of similar to that of determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. You know how a tomato, you want to like prune it and it will produce all season. It is indeterminate. Determinate tomatoes, you don't want to really prune because they're going to lay like all their fruit at once. And so you want them to get bushy. They're usually shorter. Similar kind of deal with potatoes. Potatoes, you know, there's kind of a myth that you always hill up potatoes. You always bury them. And a couple people already asked me like why I'm not burying all my potatoes. The 3 varieties that I planted are all determinate. Determinate, think about like determined. It's already determined how many they're going to produce. There's a set number. It's not going to just continually produce more and more. The reason people will hill up certain varieties of potatoes is because they're indeterminate, which means the more you bury that main stem, the more it's going to send off little shoots to grow tubers, and you're going to have more potatoes. But if you bury the main stem deeper of a determinate, it's not going to make any difference of how many. Yeah, that's just basically the gist of what the difference is. So since I don't know on these yellow ones that were from the grocery store, I might hill them a little bit, but in all reality, I probably won't. It's a crazy season. My garden has really taken the back seat lately because we are, you know, helping my grandma try to recover from brain surgery. And I'm up there a lot, and just even when I'm not up there, I'm available for my mom, who is up there pretty much all the time. She is switching off and on with my aunt. One's there all night, others there all day, and then they actually kind of overlap a little bit too. But so I am still doing my garden. My garden for me is like a form of therapy. It's a place where if I'm really stressed, sometimes I don't want to go to the garden, but if I could just tell myself, go for 5 minutes and sit, I instantly feel like a deep exhale, and I will start weeding some stuff. Like I'll even start weeding the pathways, not intending to work, but somehow it just, it calms me. It helps me work out the stuff that's going on in my soul. It helps me pray. It helps me focus. I listen to all the birds. I listen to the chickens. I feed them random scraps and chickens are fun to watch and calming. And so I will keep gardening. Some of my maybe ideals of how I was going to take care of my garden, like a lot of the succession planting might not happen the way I was hoping for it to. Some of the pruning might not happen as well, and that's okay. I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to use it as therapy and enjoy it. And of course, I'm growing food to feed my family, but I'm also growing a garden for the beauty that it holds and how it feeds and nourishes my soul. And it helps me stay grounded to what's important in life. And you know, my laundry's not done. My room is a wreck. My house is a wreck. This has been such a roller coaster with losing my Nana 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm trying to think, even time is so blurry. It might have even been 3 weeks ago at this point. I don't know. And then my other grandma having brain surgery, and you know, it's still a real critical time, and she's making improvements, but it's baby steps. And so I'm just always on alert for prayer, always on alert, not sleeping well. But being out in the garden helps me not stress about the laundry piles and the dirty kitchen and the fridges where there's things lost in the back, because it's been a crazy time. So this is worth it to me. And even if it's not done perfectly, like it's not going to be done perfectly. We are not perfect humans. So God's really taught me a lot. Hold on one second. He's taught me a lot about letting go of ideals and oops, there we go. Sorry, I'm messing up my camera. Who I think I am, who I think I need to be. I don't need to be that perfect person. Like, that's not what makes me pleasing to him, and that's not what makes my garden successful, and that's not what makes life enjoyable. I need to be in the moment. I need to be present, and I need to do the thing that's set before me and do it with all my heart. So I did not mean to go on that tangent with planting potatoes, but I just wanted to let you guys know, like, really real life where I am. And the reason why the potatoes got lost in the cupboard is because I have not been cooking for my family very well because I've been at the hospital so much. Yes, Sam, I hear you. And but that's okay, because I can plant them and they can be renewed, even if we only get the amount that I planted, but they're like made fresh and new. That's awesome. It means it wasn't a waste. And I hope that you can view your gardening and your farming, you're taking care of animals that way, that it can be a source of refreshment for you, a source of encouragement, a source of garden therapy, animal therapy, and not a place of stress and striving, because we're not meant to be perfect. Our gardens are not meant to be perfect. They're meant to be, oh, sorry, I did it again. Let me see. I'm learning to navigate this new camera, and it is difficult. There we go. All right, let's see if I can do this. All right. They're meant to be our gardens. They're meant to be an overflow of our heart and our expression and our serving our family and those around us, and our making beauty and doing something with our hands in the dirt. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how perfect or how imperfect it is. It's an overflow of our heart. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoy my videos and my content, I would love if you would comment. I don't want to sound like the cheesy thing, but if you subscribe and just join us, we're trying to share more and more of our life. And yeah, it just is, it helps people see our videos. When you enjoy it and you also subscribe and interact, then YouTube shows it more. So thank you guys so much. Happy gardening, happy planting. I hope that you are also taking care of the garden of your soul and making sure that's healthy, and that you are caring for yourself well too. Take care.